What are you doing?
Filming you for a second.
Filming you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another awesome episode. We went to Retro Replay / their flea market setup just about a week ago, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. We ended up checking out in Bel Air, Maryland, a place called Retro Replay. Bel Air, Maryland is a really awesome place to go. I actually go like once every 2 years or so. I have family that's actually out in that area, and because of the recommendations of Ahmer, anytime that my cousin needs things like controllers, power cables, things like that, he goes to Retro Replay. I have family that's visiting from Columbus over currently in Maryland.
You have family?
Yeah. Being Catholic, I have family. It feels like absolutely everywhere.
Anyway, I think it was freaking awesome. It was a really cool store, man. They had the awesome actual store, and then the flea market was really cool too. There were some stellar deals there that I'll be showing in another video. But I picked a few things up from the store. You did as well. I think I want to mention as well the stuff that we didn't pick up, which there was a lot of cool Nintendo powers. You picked up how many?
Yeah, I picked up absolutely zero.
That you wanted to pick up.
We
picked up, put back.
Yeah, we looked at. This was one of the first places we went to right before we went to Too Many Games. So didn't want to spend a ton of money, but they were running a sale that was so good that we were hearing about on the way up there that we had to. As soon as we got there, we dropped all of our stuff, rushed right over there, and as soon as you came to the store, they had huge bins
so much
of Nintendo powers. Every single one was $5 a piece.
Yeah.
No matter the sticker price.
Yeah, I mean, aside from, I picked up probably 6 or 7. There was more. I just didn't let myself go through all of them. And there was, non-Nintendo Power magazines, too, stuff I was interested in. There's a few guides. There's, a few guides here and there that I want to pick up. And if they're, really cheap, I'll pick them up anyway. There's a few that I'm, looking out for, Metroid Prime Hunters, Animal Crossing Wild World. There's, some stuff that I definitely do want to grab because I had it when it was new and when I was a kid. And they just had a lot of stuff there. There was so much. I know I passed up on the Intellivision voice module that I've been looking for. I don't know why I put it back down. As well as there's a bunch of the Cartoon Network, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance games that I wanted. I want to do something with that later on because I'm a big fan of Cartoon Network. There was,
What are you finding?
A couple cool things. We Shadowgate Classic. I had this as a kid. There's a couple of other interesting things I think I might pick up. This Pac-Man for Neo Geo Pocket Collar. Pretty cool. I don't have this. And then a surprise controller I might show later.
We could just list that. I literally, when I went through the magazines, I had 10 of them sitting out that were all priced at $10 and above. And they're all Super Nintendo era, all the ones that I really was looking for and loved. They all had their posters and inserts and everything, and I set those aside and I had to keep moving on because they had so many good deals. As soon as you turned around, they had 2 massive tables that were just filled with boxes for your consoles, empty Nintendo boxes, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, just tons of empty boxes.
If I was that broke, I couldn't picture this.
Yeah, it was just tons of stuff that they were just bringing from the back. It felt like that. Yeah. It wasn't even like they had them out for sale. It felt like.
Right. Yeah. Some of the console boxes too. So they had 2 original Xbox boxes. I've been looking for a replacement because mine is probably about as bad as a box that you can get, so it doesn't look good displayed. They had a bunch of other boxes too that I was super interested in. I know the Gamerz picked up a bunch of stuff there that was really cool. But they had a variety of games. Some of them were empty boxes that were good boxes that we'd be interested in. So they had a lot of variety. But besides their sale, the store had all kinds of crazy stuff. Let me tell you, they had a bigger selection of 3DO games than I ever see. Bigger selection of Vita games, which it wasn't massive, but it's more than I see around here ever. To have a line of Vita games is unheard of at a store these days. They had a new in-box TurboGrafx CD that was not for sale. I don't think they had it displayed up, but you never ever see that box ever. I think I've seen it one other time in person, and it was for a museum setup. So a lot of cool stuff.
That's one of those things even if it was for sale, you don't ask.
Yeah,
because it's one of those things where you never see it, and if they give you a price And as long as you have a credit card that has a limit that tells you that you can, you pull it out. I've been in that situation before when you just next time you just don't even ask.
Yeah.
Even if it is for sale, it's not for sale.
Right. Yeah, they had some sealed Jaguar games I had my hands on. Like, I stood there for like 10 minutes debating on if I was going to buy these.
Yeah, I definitely have a video of it.
I regret not getting them. So, if I go back there, they're still there, maybe I will. So, a big Jaguar fan, but these are sealed, which is pretty awesome. Checker Flag is actually a fun game.
Is it?
It is.
That's
this
like
is
the
garbage.
worst game.
No, I don't think so. Might be the worst game on the...
My buddy says this is the worst game, but
I
he
think
tells
it's
me
playable.
it's the best one. He wants to watch me play it.
It's not the best one. This is garbage. This game's absolutely terrible. And this is also a terrible football game. So...
And you're saying Checker Flag
It's
is the best
decent.
game.
There aren't, there's not any like god tier titles on the Jaguar, right? It's the Jaguar, but I still love the system for like the homebrews.
Man, I can't take your opinion anymore.
We did get some pickups, so let's go ahead and show those off. What we got? You want to go ahead and start with yours?
Like we were talking about, they had 2 nice big tables just filled with boxes.
Yep.
And I was able to pick up 2 boxes for $5 a piece for Sega Genesis, X-Men, and James Bond 2.
And dear Lord.
The reason why I picked these guys up was because for $5 I was able to put my loose carts in them.
Listen, do you even like James Bond?
I love James Bond. James Bond 2
man.
and 3 were actually my favorites. First one was a little slow.
I really like James Bond 3 Goldfish. Yeah. That's my favorite.
Wrong. Is that the summation?
Yeah, they're the same thing.
Wrong. He was so wrong.
Yeah, but actually this and X-Men, this game actually on the Sega Genesis
I love that game.
is a pretty good game.
One of my first Genesis games as a kid, so I love that one.
And I literally, I will keep my loose carts specifically because Sega Genesis, to find the game cases is so common compared to like Nintendo and things like that.
They're not cardboard, so.
Yeah, I love to put all my stuff in protective boxes like this, except for Sega Genesis. I just hold off because I will find them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, though, that you would buy games with no tabs. Like, what is wrong with you?
Oh, they're not
This
hanging.
guy, let me tell you. Anyway, we like I said, we saw on the table some really cool stuff, and I absolutely could not pass this up. I still don't have a system for this yet. Again, I had a
you can't even play it.
I can't even play it right now. I did have like a sort of significant Neo Geo Pocket and Collar collection at one point. But this is just a really cool port of Pac-Man. It's literally like the arcade game. It is different. Technically, it's not just a straight port, but that's essentially what it is. It's classic Pac-Man. This box is beautiful, though, and it's complete. I was already in a protector, so I got the protector with it, and I got a really good deal on this. I was super excited about finding this. This was the only Neo Geo Pocket Collar game that they had setting up there, and I had to pick this up. So I'm stoked to be able to start this collection again. I think it's a great console. I definitely champion it every time I can. So,
and everybody knows the only way you can play Pac-Man is on a Neo Geo Pocket. Only way.
Color.
Oh,
Color.
Yeah. Oh, Pac-Man.
2 different systems.
And color. You got to play it in color.
You got to play
only
color.
way you can play it is
because
on
if
the
you
Neo Geo
play it
Pocket
any
color.
other way, it's not Pac-Man. So it's got to be yellow.
It's just Miss Pac-Man at that point.
Yeah, at that point, what are you doing with your life?
So one of the bonus things too was this was in the empty box section.
This guy right here.
Not all the games were actually empty box. So some of these games were priced at empty box prices that were just absolutely complete. So I've got the manual, I got the instructions, and I got the game. If I can pull it out. And so,
Awesome.
I mean, $20 is for what the game goes for loose.
Yeah.
So to pick it up complete in box for $20 during that sale, that's pretty awesome.
This is an underrated animated series, anime in general. Now I haven't played this specific one. There is another GBA game that's the one I had as a kid. So I'm not sure how this one plays, but definitely interesting for the price that you pay. That's super freaking cool.
Yeah,
the box is the sought after part for any of this stuff anyway, right?
Yeah, literally Shaman King. Of the Shaman King games, this is the one I was specifically looking for. The only one
cool.
I played. And right before we went to Too Many Games, I did a trade with a buddy of mine, and this is one of the games that I was went back and forth on, and I just ended up not going with that game. And thankfully,
that's really cool.
And he put a trade value on it, I think $20. So when I saw this at the box, I was like, $20 for the box. I can go get that game off of for a trade, complete it for next to nothing.
Here you got a complete box now. That's really cool. Definitely awesome. So here I'm going to show, I guess we'll show this one first. Nothing significant here at all, but I got this one at the flea market for $1, mostly because it was a steelbook. It was complete, and I thought it was something that it wasn't, actually, which we'll talk about in another video. But for $1, like, I'm not going to complain. Cool steelbook. It's not in terrible shape. Usually there's a lot of scratches and a lot going on with it. Not actively collecting sports games. So yeah, I don't really know.
So at the Game Junction,
$1.
At the Game Junction, Brandon is the actual sports expert.
Yeah.
So and everybody knows in this game is who's on the cover of this one?
Messi.
And he plays for
UNICEF.
Yeah, UNICEF.
That's UNICEF. I don't know anything about soccer.
So Lionel Messi, which is one of the most famous athletes in all
I
of
don't
the
even know
world.
who he is. I don't even know who he is.
No clue. Brandon definitely sports balls.
Yeah, I do ball sports. I love ball sports. Anyway.
So my final pickup was actually for the PSP.
Very cool.
I picked up the Mega Man Powered Up for the PSP, and it's one of my favorite Mega Man games.
Oh, it's so awesome.
I played this actually emulated at one point because I did not have this when it came out. For some reason,
Capcom, get them.
For some reason, Mega Man in my area was like gold. Like growing up, you could not find Mega Man on Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PSP. Like anytime like electronics boutiques or anybody would carry Mega Man, it was gone. And so I remember these when they came out, and it was just immediately gone. You could never find them. Nobody ever traded them in to like the local game stores
because they were good. Nobody wanted to trade them more.
Yeah. So now that I'm going back, and for some reason I keep finding PSP games, so I just keep rolling with it.
Yeah.
And was able to find this one for a really cheap price. I think it was definitely under $20.
It's a good deal.
Yeah. And when you're talking and it was in the original, it's got the original EMD hard shell thing, which is hard to find sometimes with these things.
Yeah, they're broken a lot.
And when you're talking about with the white, PSP does so much with white, and you could tell immediately the condition that the games are in almost exactly by like that white.
Yep. Yeah, that's an awesome game. Talked about in another video, and I think that's a top tier Mega Man game. The other Mega Man game on PSP, Maverick Hunter X, it's also a remake of Mega Man X. That's a remake of the original Mega Man. Both like god tier Mega Man games that don't get talked about ever. So that's an awesome one. And then for my final pickups, again, nothing like super significant, but if I find these really cheap, I always pick them up. These are just the not for resale versions of Last of Us. And then we've got Arkham Origins here. These were pack-in games for the consoles. So one reason is that if I ever get that particular console, I can pack these in. And they're literally $1 a piece. So I think that's a pretty good deal. People love like not for resale stuff anyway. And I think, that cheap, it's like, why not? So I just pick them up when I find them.
One of the really cool things too about the ones for the PS3 is they're actually full games.
Yeah.
Like I started collecting during the PS2 era. There were demos, and they were usually really cool, but they only did so far. Like I had Dot Hack. I had a lot of RPGs I was collecting.
Oh yeah.
But with the PS3, I picked up a ton of them early on, and I think it was like I was a year in until I realized they weren't demos.
Yeah.
And it was like people were asking me for games, and I was handing them out, and I was like, oh, I just have the demo, sealed demo, and I was like, oh, it's a full game that's like still sealed.
Yeah, they're really cool variants, and I think down the road that these are probably going to be more sought after than the standard releases because you couldn't just buy these anyway. They don't hold like significant value now, but one of the things is like exactly what's wrong here is that people rip these a lot of times. So a lot of times you'll find a full tear here or whatever where they just yanked it, and that happens a lot. It's not terrible. The only thing I don't like about these is that like you pretty much, if you have them like displayed in your collection, you've got to have them out like this because you can't see on the spine. So oftentimes I'll forget I have some of these unless I'm looking at my like app or like my Game Eye app or something. But they're still really cool. And again, like if I find the bundle or something and I need to pack in the game, I have it, and I'll just keep tracking those down.
And of course, you got to get The Last of Us because that's your absolute favorite television series that you've watched 2-3 times back to front.
Yeah, I still haven't watched it at all.
Yes, not at all. Just hadn't.
I need to.
Yeah.
I need to. I just haven't yet.
They're all TiVo'd.
I've literally been threatened about not watching it, so I feel uncomfortable here right now, and I feel like I'm going to get hurt after this video. But if you enjoyed this particular video, let us know in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave that like as well, and to subscribe. It helps us out a lot. And we'll see you guys again soon. Have you played this one though, for real?
No.
It's like a...
I thought he was gonna tell me, like, oh,
No,
this is a
it's like
fun
a-
game. This
no.
is one that you have to... Have you played this one? I don't know. I haven't either.
a shiny reflective cover, so it caught my eye.
Have you played this game? I don't know.
You're about to get the Beat Mania.
I'm gonna get the Mafia after you.
Man.
And I'm gonna give you some Max Payne.
I'm going to call 007.
No, I think mine's better.